Alright guys, at the request of Platts, I'm going to be talking about Blend S today. I finally finished it. It actually took me a while. I got to episode 10 like so quick, and then I took like a week break from it and finished the last two episodes. And just so if you just want to know what people think about it or what I think about it, I give it a 5 out of 10. I think if you're being strict, it's a 4 out of 10, and if you're being very lenient, it's a 6 out of 10 at best. It's that anime that has like that one meme where it's like, sweet, sadistic, sister, blah 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 blah. And I thought it was gonna be good and funny because everybody was using that meme. But I don't know if people that like took that and made it into a meme actually watched the anime because like it's so. It should honestly be bland as instead of blend as because it's so shallow. Like the characters are so shallow. You don't really get any in-depth feeling for their characters or anything like that. And instead of like basically a synopsis of the anime is the girl's looking for a job, and then she gets a job in a maid cafe. The maid cafe, they all take on personality tropes, like tsundere, little sister character, sadist. And one thing I'm gonna tell you, I'm a little bit biased about this anime, and I'm not gonna write on too much because it's a work of fiction and it's whatever. But one of the two romances in the anime is a 26-year-old Italian dude's hitting on a 16-year-old, like the whole thing. And I was just like, I don't care for that kind of thing. I'm not gonna rate on it too much, and I did finish the anime regardless. But yeah, I don't like Japan's age of consent laws. It's like 13 or something. They were trying to raise it last year, but they failed, I believe. Which is, that's whatever. I'm super ethnocentric about that. I already talked about it on Bird. I'm not gonna rant too much. But yeah, the characters, even though they play these tropes, they're not that way in real life. It's just like misunderstandings for, especially the main character. She's not a sadist. She says things in ways that can be interpreted as a sadist, but she's not. Like, deep down, she's just like a sweet person, and she doesn't have any really sadistic qualities. It's just misinterpreted, and she gets like this resting bitch face. So everybody just thinks she is, I guess. And then the other characters, they're not the tropes they are either. Like, the tsundere girl's actually like a video game otaku. But yeah, let's talk about all the characters real quick. There's Dino, which I think is the owner, or the manager of the restaurant. He's the 26-year-old Italian who's supposed to be good-looking. That's really all I know about his character, and that he just keeps hitting on Micah. Also, I guess he's an otaku for magical girl animes. That also. There's Micah, which is the main character. She couldn't find a job because of her resting bitch face, which was kind of funny at the start. And then there is the blonde-haired girl, don't know her name. She's a video game otaku. She's supposed to be a tsundere, but she's not really. Azukashi is. That's the guy that's supposed to be in a romance with her. And that's got a pretty big age gap as well. She's 16. I think she's the youngest character. And he's 21. And then one character I actually thought had a really funny, like, kind of contradiction going on was the little sister character. Because she was actually the oldest one out of all of them. I think she's like a 22-year-old college student. So I think heads up. There's going to be spoilers. I forgot to say this. There will be spoilers because there's not much plot in this. I don't think it's going to give anything away. I'm just going to be talking about like jokes in the show. So if you don't want any kind of like hint at what the show has in it, stop watching now. But if you just want to hear like what I thought was funny and what was good in the anime, keep watching. But yeah, she's like 22-year-old. And one of the jokes is they were like imagining her with like a normal height dude. And freaking, like, they were holding hands, and instead of, like, he was just swinging her through the air because she was so short. I thought that was funny. And then they have, like, a get-together outside of work, and she's, like, cracking open a beer. And everybody, I thought that was funny as well. And then there's a character I thought was, like, just added in, bro. She didn't really have much place in it. She had really weak jokes. Her character in the maid cafe was also weak. It's like a doujinshi otaku. She's, like, super perverted. But she plays the big sister character in the cafe, and it's just, I think that was just fan service. Yeah, all her jokes were just like, oh, I can make a doujinshi of this, and it's just, that's it. That's like all her jokes, like 90% of them. Or something super perverted, that's it. And then there was like another character who was a dude that cross-dresses as a female, and he's supposed to be like the pop idol character. And he had one joke that I thought was pretty funny too, as well. He was like, he had to use the bathroom, even though he kept saying he didn't have to use the bathroom because he was an idol, he was a girl, and all this stuff. And he's about to go into the girls' bathroom, but the person that's with him grabs him, makes him go into the boys' bathroom, He's like, oh yeah, I almost forgot. And then you see all the people that were in the bathroom, all the dudes like coming out looking all confused because they're like, oh, are we in the wrong bathroom or what's this chick doing in here? So I thought that was kind of funny. Plus, he has some kind of feud with the owner. It's like the owner doesn't like him because he's a cross-dressing dude. And I'm like, bro, you're a 26-year-old hitting on a 16-year-old. You're worse. You're worse. I don't care. I'm super ethnocentric about that, by the way. So, but yeah, I won't rant on it too much. But besides that, though, there's no super funny parts in the anime. There's a few jokes that are alright. I basically told you the funniest ones in my opinion. The romance, there's no parts that are like super sweet or anything like that. I think Azukashi and the blonde girl actually had like sweeter moments than the manager and Micah. And that only started like episode 8 or something. There's only like a few scenes of that. It's mostly the manager trying to make moves on Micah, getting misunderstood, she's getting misunderstood, and that's basically where the anime ends. It doesn't have like any fulfilling conclusion or anything like that. It's just like the monthly Girls in Ozaki where you don't get any closure at all. Which I'm kind of glad, because I didn't want to see him get with her anyways, because she's way under his age. Or if he just waited, bro. Like, just wait. When she's like 25 and fully developed, and you're like 30-something, whatever. But, yeah, and then I thought it would have been a lot better if the characters were actually the trope that they were portraying in the cafe. I thought they could have made, because outside of work, all these characters are the most normal freaking people, bro. It's just like, there's nothing that's like dynamic about them. What I like about Slice of Life is when I see something new, or like a dynamic personality type, or yeah, like a dynamic personality type that makes a joke funny because it's just so out there, or so relatable. This one, any of the jokes weren't relatable. Like any of the slapstick humor, I don't think it was relatable at all. And then, like, the jokes that were, like, there wasn't very many jokes that weren't slapstick humor that had to do with work. You know, outside of work, it was just, like, watching them hang out and not really doing anything. And the manager trying to hit on the chick. Also, there's a dog character. The dog character was kind of cool. I liked him. But outside of that, it's just so bland, dude. I can't stress that enough. Like, because I love Slice of Life. Slice of Life is, like, one of my favorite genres. I love rom-com, Slice of Lives, everything like that. I'm probably going to do a lot more anime reviews on those type of animes, but this one was just, I felt like a waste of my time, to be honest. But, I mean, I'll review whatever, but what else happened? There was no conflict in the anime at all. There was, like, nothing that was trying to get resolved, except for maybe the relationship between the manager and the Micah, but that never happened. It was just, there was nothing that was, like, gripping at all. Nothing to keep your attention in the anime. A lot of the characters barely get any focus. Like, the doujinshi girl gets very little focus. The idol girl shows up towards the end, and she's shown very sparingly. The art style is aight, I guess. Yeah, and then, what was it? There was a few things. The opening and ending were just like, okay. They weren't great. I liked how the ending changed as it went on. Like, as characters got introduced, they added them to the ending. I always like that. I think that's dope whenever they add something like that. But the songs weren't anything super special. And, like, the ending, like I said, it was just like a random episode. And then it just kind of ends. It would have been so... They act like those people don't exist in real life. Like, there's sadistic people. There's people that are tsundere. Like, you could put those characters in that show and have them have those interactions outside of work. And that would have been hilarious. But it's like 50%... It's actually like 70% outside of work. 30% at work. And then like 70% of the humor is when they're at work, I get... Well, I don't know. Either way. Like, it's just like... When they're outside of work, they're normal people. It's not like working where, like, and there's nothing to get you invested in these characters. There's no, like, backstory, like, tragic, or not even a tragic backstory, or even any kind of backstory, which makes it really rough. I guess one thing I learned about Micah is that she likes American things, but that's just, like, barely glanced over in the anime, or foreign things. She likes foreign things, not American things. So that's kind of helping Dino, I guess, but I don't know if she has a love interest with Dino. Either way, it doesn't really, it kind of leaves it a little bit ambiguous, even though they kind of hint at it at the end. but you learn very little about these characters. It's like they took the premise and they're like, oh, this is awesome. We got a cafe. We got all these character tropes. This is going to be great. And everybody's going to love it. And they didn't think about, like what they were going to do outside of work. And they just kind of threw that in there. I don't know, dude. If you want to watch it for yourself, watch it. You might disagree with me. Because I'm going to say I was already biased because of 26-year-old and 16-year-old thing. But I did watch the whole thing. I just thought it was the most bland slice of life I've seen. I can't think of a slice of life that I think was worse. Because Defrag was one that I thought was kind of bad after the first episode. But the first episode was amazing. I love the first episode of Defrag. But it gets bland too. Like all the characters like stop having an impact. And like they don't have much personality. And you have 12 episodes and they're really can't fit any of the characters in there. So they introduce characters that they don't fully flesh out, and then they focus on the manager and Micah at the end, trying to give some kind of closure, but they never get there. But yeah, thanks for watching as always, guys. Also, I'm not going to include as many pictures in this because, and the reason you see my face is because I got my video blocked for the Sleeping Castle anime review I did, which sucked because all I had in there was like a slideshow picture, right? And they blocked it, which sucked because I worked on that for a hot minute. Like I was watching the anime, I was taking screenshots and like taking the pictures of it. So, and it didn't have any audio, no video, and they blocked it, which was freaking lame, dude. Some kind of mole whack company or something like that. All they do is watch videos and block or copyright strike your video. I haven't been copyright striked, thankfully. I've been ID claimed and all that stuff, but never been striked yet, thank God. But yeah, that sucks. But yeah, I'm going to include a few pictures, and I'm going to just keep progressing. And I'm putting my face on here, so hopefully it's harder to notice or something. Which I think it's fair use. I think it's fair use, because this is educational. I'm doing a review. I'm not taking any part of their video or anything like that. It was just pictures, bro. I can't believe that shit. Oh, that pissed me off. And you can't really dispute it, because if they uphold it, you get struck. So, like, damn. I just took the video down. But yeah, I'm going to try to, increase the pictures as I go along, and I'm gonna keep my face on this half of the screen, just hopefully so they won't freaking block it for whatever reason, but I don't know if I can prevent that. If it happens again, I don't know if I'll do any more anime reviews, because it's not worth like spending this time on it, even though I love talking about anime, and I like when you guys request things, but that just sucks. And thanks again for Plats for requesting this, even though I didn't generally enjoy the anime. I hadn't seen it before, and it was pretty average. But yeah, thanks for watching as always, guys. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe. If you're just here for anime though, I try to do anime reviews, but I can't do it consistently because it takes time, and then I get blocked, and they don't get very many views. So, but I try. But thanks for watching as always. Bye.